Welcome to PACcast, the official podcast of PAC. Quick reminder, always be checking out the PAC Facebook page and the PAC Twitter page for updates and all this stuff. Today we got a special guest, Mr. Shafi Goodwin, who is just recently been named as the Idea Generation Next competitor to move on to the second round for William Peace University. So, Shafi, tell us a little bit about your idea, what it is, how you came up with it. Just give us the rundown.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Baker. So my name is Shafi Goodwin, and I got out of the Marine Corps last year, November 29th. Yesterday was actually my anniversary. And
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I wanted to create and come up with something to give back. And so, I had a couple months free before school actually began. So I came up with this one day, essential home items to provide 5 essential home items: bleach, laundry detergent, and dish detergent, paper towels, and toilet paper to families in low-income neighborhoods. So I started on August 1st of this year, and so far I've been doing it, to deliver these items to one family. My ultimate goal is to deliver it to 5 items.
Okay.
Or to 5 families.
To 5 families.
Exactly,
so
once a month.
5 families, 5 items, 25 items a month. And why these 5 basic, or what we consider pretty basic items? Why them and not something else?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the question. So I chose these 5 items, and after sort of considering other items such as food or body wash and what have you, but I stuck with these 5 items because one, a lot of people are particular about the things they eat. You have vegetarians out there, and people in particular don't care to eat foods out of cans. And then you also have people such as me. Actually, I actually have pretty sensitive skin, so there's certain body wash that I have to use, and obviously some that I cannot use that I have to stay far away from. So that's why I try to stick with these just standard items that whether you're in a low-income neighborhood or not, these are 5 items that you need.
Yeah,
and so I chose these items to to be able to reduce the monthly expenses of families in low-income neighborhoods. And these are items that we all need on a daily basis.
So you said you've got one family now. How have you been funding this, and how long have you been giving the folks these 5 items?
Right. So I started, August 1st of this year.
Okay.
And so far the way I've been delivering these items is, is driving around, to an area that is, not particularly doing too well. And if I saw, a family or kids outside of the home, I would stop by, introduce myself, tell them, exactly what I'm doing, and, what I'm trying to coordinate, and, ask them whether or not they'd be willing to accept these items for free, obviously. And, so far it's been great. It was, the second family that I went to, as I was walking away, they said, God's great,
right.
Isn't God great? So, you're just showing, that whether you're wealthy or not, you can still do things for other people, with the little that you have. So it's definitely been great. And, so far it's been 4 families. As I said, my ultimate goal is to deliver these 5 items to 5 families in low-income neighborhoods. That's my ultimate goal, but at a minimum, it'll be 1 family.
Okay. Okay. And tell us a little bit about the Idea Generation Next process, and this year as compared to last year. We had Jalen Roberts come on and talk about the process last year. Tell us a little bit about how that has gone and what you've done. Maybe even how you've improved your idea through the Idea Generation Next.
Right, so the Idea Generation Next, which was conducted at the Centric Center downtown Raleigh, it was absolutely a great opportunity. I firmly believe that each and every one of us has a special seed in us that just needs to be, that we want to see come to fruition. It takes something longer than others to truly find their passion and what their purpose in life is. So it was definitely a great opportunity to meet, these different folks from the area with who have ideas and intentions that they want to do to help low-income families, low-income neighborhoods, or just help the general public. So So yeah, it definitely allowed me the opportunity to expand my idea and to, it forced me to think about things that I didn't consider, alone. And, because a lot of people were asking me different questions, as well, that, just forced me to, to expand it and broaden, my perspective when it comes to, not just being a nonprofit organization, but also trying to coordinate with other nonprofit organizations to be able to reach out and, connect with families in local neighborhoods. So it was a good opportunity. Yeah, we had 5 series, just ended, last Thursday. And yeah, I've been super excited to
move on.
Yeah, to absolutely, to the finalist position.
Right.
So we'll see what happens from there.
So, explain to us too, you pitched, originally the idea was that you were going to pitch here on campus at Peace. Then whoever won those pitches moved on to the accelerator. And then you pitch again when? When is it that you'll pitch again for the second time?
Right. So second time will be the final pitch.
Right.
So as I said, for the idea generation next, we had 5 different series. The last one was, they asked us to kind of prepare a 30-minute sort of elevator pitch. And once we had that and submitted our final application, which had to be in by November 21st, then we were notified by the 29th or 30th. Then actually, I got the email yesterday. So then on January 15th is when they'll help us in practice proposing a final pitch, which
right.
will actually have to be 5 minutes.
Okay. Wow. That's an impressive, that's impressive. Yeah. It seemed like last year the pitches were about 2 to 3 minutes, and it was just kind of, in and out, really fast. Insofar as, where you think, you mentioned 5 families, is your idea to keep it small? Is that an intentional thing, or is that just something that you have thought maybe 5 families would be all you would want? Or do you think you could ever expand from just the 5 families to, a whole neighborhood or a whole, a much bigger thing? Would you want, I guess the question could be, do you want to keep it small or make it a lot bigger, in the long run?
Absolutely, yeah, and this is definitely a question also, that was presented to me during the Accelerator series. I would definitely love to expand it, down the road.
Right.
Definitely, perhaps, as somebody mentioned, perhaps creating some sort of Uber style, Uber style delivery where folks will be able to volunteer to deliver these items to other, the families in low-income neighborhoods. And yeah, so potentially it could definitely be increased, from, just simply 5 families. But my goal now is definitely to coordinate with other nonprofit organizations. And, as of right now, it's keeping it in North Carolina.
Okay.
But ultimately it's something that I would love to see. I would love to see expanded. Nationwide.
Well, I guess that leads to another question. Do you see yourself doing this maybe as a career or as a side project for a long time, or would you just ultimately love to sell it off and make millions of dollars on the idea, or what? What do you see your future with this program?
So my future definitely is, as I kind of think of things in the long run, it's definitely something that, to kind of just do on the side. Okay. For sure. And it's definitely been a great opportunity to be able to have, from William Peace University, Right. To be frank, before I came here, it was a school that I never heard of. I wasn't, so just being able to find this school and, obviously being private and being able to, have much more focus with the students and the instructors, it's been a great opportunity for sure. So yeah,
just keeping it on the side would be, what are your career goals? I mean, obviously you've had did you do a career in the Marine Corps, or did you do your initial enlistment and then get out?
So I just did 4 years in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And now obviously it's going back to school, and I'm right now studying political science, and also my goal is to go to law school.
Okay.
Sure. That is that is what I'll do after I finish here. And so, as of now, it'll be something that I'll just do on the side, because I definitely want to get into law, and but either way, I want to do something to give back, one, and then two, something just be involved in public service.
Okay. Well, I really do. This is a neat idea. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody picking just 5 basic, and I like the fact that you did 5 things. You put the thought into, I can't do soap because some people, everybody needs toilet paper. Everybody needs bleach. Everybody needs, dish detergent. And I like that. I think that's probably, have you, what have the judges said as far as, your incubator and accelerator? What have they said about those essential goods? I mean, have they changed? Have they always been the 5 basic? Did you start out with bleach, dish detergent, and all these things, or did you have another idea in mind and you've crafted those into place?
Right. So I started with these 5 items, and so far, I've stuck with them.
Stuck with them.
And actually, the email I received yesterday notifying me that I'll now able to move on to the final pitch. 2 of the things actually that the judges, wanted me to take note of was, 1, coordinating with other nonprofit organizations.
Right.
And then 2, considering these 5 items, but also considering as to why my nonprofit organization is unique, in terms of the certain items that are not able to be purchased through the welfare.
Through those things. So those ultimately then are items that you can't purchase through WIC.
Exactly. WIC, or it's
food stamps. I think
food stamps. Yes, I can't remember the exact acronym.
I don't remember the acronym either. Yeah, WIC. I think is for WIC is for infants and young children. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. But yes, so these items, I actually did my research. Also these items cannot be purchased through
food stamps. Yeah, we'll call it food stamps. Wow. Okay, so that makes it even more critical.
Exactly.
That's interesting too. I had to buy soap in the grocery store the other day, and when I went up to the counter, the guy said, "I'm surprised this soap wasn't in a security box." And I said, "Why would it be?" I mean, I understand soap is soap, but I thought they obviously keep Sudafed in boxes because that can be used for other bad things. I thought maybe soap had its own new thing that people were using to make bad things. But, you just don't think about the average person spending a lot of money on those things, but it really does add up. So I appreciate it. I like the idea. So we've got about 2 more minutes. Do you have anything else you'd like to add? Or say about your idea, or put a plug in on how we could get a hold of you. Excuse me, if somebody hears this and says, "Ooh, I want to jump on board."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, I just want to just reiterate how how fortunate I feel and how lucky I am to be a part of this school, Goodwin University now. I considered joining online school when I got out of the military, but this has definitely been a great opportunity. So. I'll definitely be willing to coordinate with you guys, some nonprofit organizations that you guys work with, or just some that just get involved in some of the volunteer opportunities that you guys offer here.
Okay.
And so definitely, I'm excited, and we'll see what happens with the final pitch, and also in terms of these accelerated series, is something that I'd never heard of. I saw posted for one day, and I just thought, why not apply to it? And then I ended up seeing Toe, the guy who coordinated here. I ended up seeing him, and they sent me an email, and saying that I'd be accepted. So it's been a great opportunity. I look forward to further expanding it and coordinating with Goodwin University.
Sure. All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, and that's it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Good luck on your final pitch.